Good evening, everyone, the board and distinguished guests, students, and community members. Chester High School has been experiencing a lot of positive things. And before I get into the presentation, I want to acknowledge and celebrate two of our long-term teachers who retired. Dr. Dolores Wright, who served us 41 years. Her presence is significant, not only to the community, but to the school district. 2/3 of the staff that teach at Chester High School now were her students. So it's an acknowledgement and a positive turnaround. We hope we can reproduce that, the rest of our staff. Also, this Rosalind Amagazi March, science teacher, very committed to teaching our students biology and environmental science, also retired. Again, and what she's done this evening, I have company with me, three of our students who will give you some insight to some of the activities and positive things that's going on in Chester High School. Next slide, please. So, to all three students attended the college tour, as Mr. Franklin stated. It's a very, very positive impact for our students. But before I go into that aspect of it, I want to thank the community, the Chester City community and organizations within Chester who helped to make it possible for Chester High students to go on a college tour and have a fabulous time with an abundance of what they needed to make the experience fruitful and rewarding for them. So, my first student that I'll bring up is Mr. Jamil. He's our 10th grade president, and he's going to speak to what his experience was at the college tour.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jamil Gathers. I'm 10th grade president, and as a 10th grader, probably saying why I'm going on a college tour. But I wanted to go to experience what it was like to be a college student. Like, I wanted to go there, grab information. I know I can't apply to college throughout my 11th grade year, but I wanted to experience how it works. My first stop was in the state. It was cold, but a fun time. I'd say it was a fun time. It was a fun time. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun, lots of laughter. Definitely would do it again, all over again.
College. Yeah. Don't be nervous.
Good evening. My name is Orberg, so you know me as Zay. But I want to say, first off, I want to say, for the people that did help us on this college tour, I want to encourage y'all to do this more in the future because it provided a sense of opportunity for our kids. And it gave us this feeling that we're not stuck and we have opportunities and we're able to go to these amazing places. And for me, I wasn't really thinking about going to college, but I really want to go to college. And my commit school of choice will be, after my sophomore year, is North Carolina A&T. And I just want to say that it was fun building, getting to see, travel the world, especially with these guys. Just that it's not only people in the city of Chester that go through struggles, but people that came far, other kids, they going through things, and they made it out, and they on the way to be our future doctors, nurses, lawyers, policemen, firefighters, just doing everything, get a qualification and come out of their high school. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I think more kids will love this experience, and hopefully that we just keep this going, especially from our Chester Open School District. And I just want to thank you guys for allowing this to happen and making this happen. It's really a pleasure. Yes.
Now, as you see on the screen, we had 13 students that were seniors that attended. We had other students that attended. We had 10th graders and 11th graders again, as Jamil spoke about that experience. And then even as he talked about a mindset change. So this was a really positive experience with 36 acceptance. And as Mr. Franklin stated, there are additional letters coming in for students to be accepted in the colleges as well. Next one. So, this young man, Valon Sutler Jones, a very unique student. This student right now couldn't be here tonight because he's at Newman University receiving a leadership completion certificate where he's actually winning a 4-year scholarship of participating in the leadership program. At Chester High School, our cosmetology program, I'm biased, but for what it's worth, an outstanding program, and we produce some outstanding students. They went to the New York Hair Show, and their participation in the hair show got them acknowledged for what they do as high school students from industry certified individuals who acknowledge them for being there, in their presence, as well as their demeanor and their knowledge about the cosmetology career field. They also do community work. As you can see, they went to the senior nursing home and they had a makeup day, a dress up day, and they made it nice for seniors in their setting to enjoy that new refreshed feeling. And again, that's what we're teaching. We're not just teaching cosmetology. We're teaching citizenship, we're teaching productivity, and also we're teaching a sense of community. When they go out to the community and they share the skills and the things that they've learned, it speaks volumes not only to the school district, but also to themselves. Next slide, please. Our staff celebrations. We started a new process where we acknowledge our staff and students. We always did an honor roll celebration for the students, but now we have a staff acknowledgement as well, where staff members of the month, they get lunch paid for by Chester High School administration. They get principal parking up front of the school, 2 parking spots. Now, we have 5 recipients this month, so 5 spots, and they get their name on the inside marquee by the main office for acknowledgement as well. Something that trying to change the culture and attitude and just the overall disposition so that our staff feel appreciated, not just by the students, but also by the administration. And it seems to be working out really well because after the ceremony was over, it was like, well, you only have 5 recipients. Well, we'll make as many parking spots as we need to next month. So it's something that they're looking forward to and something we're proud of doing. Our biggest and most significant acknowledgement outside of the HBCU tour and the other items we talked about was our MAP assessment data. Chester High School, as you can see, we had 187 students. Out of the 277 students showed growth. And what that represents, we have some students who are still in the red zone, some still in the yellow, and some who have advanced. But within those zones, from the fall to the winter assessment, they have moved forward. We had 12 pages of students, which equates to 249 students overall who showed academic growth in ELA and math. So that's one of our really proud accomplishments. We actually had a ceremony for the students where we acknowledge them by giving them a small token of appreciation. And again, we're looking forward to, we just had math assessment testing this week and next week, looking to see even a stronger sense of growth on our next assessment. So again, something we're proud of for our students and staff working together to show some academic growth. With our school improvement plan, we exceeded our initial goal was 70%, and we're at 80.14% now for student attendance. We have established, we had 2 steering committee meetings where we have student involvement, community, residents involved. We have a probation officer, a person that works over at the Boys and Girls Club, And we also have students who actively are engaged in providing data for our school improvement plan. Sessions have been successful for the staff and the students, and we have another meeting scheduled, I believe, May 1st, to move to our data assessment needs and also start talking about what we want to do for the future year coming. Next slide. So, my other student that's here with me, Ms. Destiny Bay, she is a member of the Chester dance team started by one of our newest staff members who just came on board this year. And I'll bring Ms. Bay up to talk about the dance team and their activity.
My name is Destiny Bay, and as Mr. Brown said, I am a former member, actually, I'm the captain of the dance team. That is called the Cliffets. We started in the middle of the school year, so we wasn't able to make it for basketball season nor football season, but we will be there next school year for football season and basketball season. We have performed inside Chester's Got Talent, and we actually liked the performance. We was all pretty nervous, but for most of it, we had fun. We was all able to join forces, put all our problems to the side. Put all our problems to the side, and actually get to know one another, and wait a minute. Oh yeah, we will be performing at the upcoming events on May 5th, which is, I'm sorry, Teachers Appreciation Day. We're performing there. We'll also be performing at the end of the school year celebration, I believe. I'm sorry. And it's one other performance. We wasn't told what it was, but we do have 3 upcoming performances that we are getting ready for. And I would like to just say thank you for letting us get the dance team together, because this is something that a lot of students wanted. So, thank you.
So again, there was a lot of successful activities that Chester High School participated in. The science fair was a unique and really positive experience. A lot of students who participated were really excited about their acknowledgement. 2 of our students receiving awards for their participation in that activity. So career fairs. Chester High School and STEM High School Academy hosted a career fair on April 20th. And then that was attended by 21 vendors where our students were given information for multiple career opportunities. And this young lady went to a career fair about 7 years ago. She was working at Wawa long enough where she was able to receive college money from Wawa, and now she's working in the medical field. Positive activities to build bond and relationships with our student and staff. Coach Dante Bell, our athletic director, helped put on a student staff basketball game. Was attended by a lot of students. Students got a chance to have fun. The staff even more fun because they believe they won. You know, with the help of some. And then again, it's clean fun, and the students got a chance to interact with staff members on a different basis and get to know each other outside of your normal classroom setting. And again, just was a good opportunity for them to build relationships.
And no workers' comp claims at the school.
No, good. Probably not a big game, something that we're also excited about that we've been doing that's really a positive impact for our marketing students is they perform our weekly telecast. Every Friday, we have students that work with T3 and their staff to put on the telecast for the school district and just let them know what activities are going on throughout the week and some positive things. This is our giveaway closet, donations from community folks and organizations to help dress our students so they can go to the prom and feel good about themselves and look well We also had a skating event that was, again, student-driven, staff-sponsored. The students, again, had another opportunity to enjoy some activities outside of the daily routine of school. We also have the Clipper Closet, where items are being donated in support of the students, from health and beauty aids, the hygiene products. As you can see, first aid kits, students maintain it, and again, it's something really positive for our students to have in the high school. So if they, just put in a request, they can go there and see those items. Thursday, we have the anti-violence, which is tonight. That's why we wanted to put do our presentation early. To go, we have 19 students that's attending the anti-violence summit that's put on by the local labor union. We also have partnered with the local labor union, and they will be providing our student with OSHA 10 certification, May 2nd and 3rd. They will be going to the facility to be trained. Our Young and Sports program, with the support of Ms. Jackie Goldstein and Mr. Laws. We have 12 students there that permanently are recruited in that program as well, and they attend that regularly. Again, receive accreditation for being in the fire sports program. So again, we have a lot of activity, a lot of positive things going on, and most importantly, it is a big event of the year is our fashion show. Partnership with Bountiful Blessings. This year, the fashion show is Saturday. Come out, let us watch our students strut this up and put on a good show. Yes.
That date is April 29th.
29th.
Sorry, that's not one.
Yeah,
That's
29th. All right. Yes. Come on.
But I did want to give a shout out to Ms. King because a lot of the stuff is running through the marketing program and through her. So our Clippers Closet, our giveaway, and our different competition, she is the one that puts that in place. So shout out to our students that did win actually. And I didn't know we had a science fair, so we should definitely give her a gift. But yeah, shout out to Ms. King, y'all. Give her props.
Thank you all. Thank you, Principal Brown. All right, now we will have our Career and Technical Education Director, Dr. Thompson.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The most exciting time. We're going to talk more about CTE and our students and what they're doing. But first, I'm going to show you a quick 2-minute video on what is CTE. A lot of people ask that.
Everyone wants kids to be ready to take on the real world, right? What's the secret? Say hello to CTE. CTE is Career Technical Education. Maybe you've never heard of it, but CTE gives learners an academic foundation along with technical skills and hands-on experience in a whole bunch of different areas to help them get ready for the real world. Think of CTE as a high school experience, but with even more value because it fills a big gap for a lot of students. In fact, CTE learners and their parents are 3 times as likely to say they're very satisfied with the ability to learn real-world skills as part of their education as compared to non-CTE learners and their parents. And since over 75% of CTE learners enroll in post-secondary education after high school, CTE is definitely creating a path to college and career success. And get this, they have a graduation rate over 10% higher than non-CTE students. Did you know 89% of parents think students should receive more education about career choices while in high school? That's where CTE comes in. Think about it. Is it better to experiment with career choices when you're paying money to do so in college? Or should it happen in high school so students know a lot earlier whether a career option is the right fit? The answer is fairly obvious, don't you think? Now let's talk about why CTE is good for business and industry. It's pretty simple. Companies want skilled employees, and they're having a hard time finding them, which can cost the company money and lost productivity. Enter CTE. One-of positions are in technical fields or require a CTE background. In fact, about half of all CTE learners are enrolled in programs in leading fields such as healthcare, STEM, and information technology, matching employer needs with student passions. CTE programs directly connect learners in high school and post-secondary with employers through internships, apprenticeships, and other meaningful on-the-job experiences. When it comes to CTE, more than twice as many CTE parents report being satisfied with internship opportunities. That means a lot of doors are being opened for kids. So here's the bottom line. Parents want their kids to find a career they can be passionate about. Kids want the same thing. And when you think about the real world, what could be better than having learners enter a field they know is right for them with a ton of hands-on experience? It's all possible. Thank you.
The CTE. So I want to talk about the CTE programs that we currently have in the district. So we have 4 at Chester High School: automotive, culinary arts, cosmetology, and marketing. At STEM, we have engineering and communications technology. What we're looking to add, made an application to the state to offer agriculture and a K-12 teachers academy starting next year. We already offer computer IT and criminal justice at the high school. It just isn't under the umbrella of CTE, so we're actually going to apply for them to be part of CTE. So we would actually have an offering of 10 CTE courses. Starting next year, this is new, we're going to offer 9th graders career exploration. So they will have an opportunity to choose each marking period one of these career paths. So they can get a chance to experience it, to see if it's something that they're interested in. So we're looking to grow our CTE programs. By the time they hit 10th grade, they'll know which one of these pathways they want to take. CTE is heavily regulated. There are state requirements, federal requirements, and we go through a process called 339 every 5 years. So we're not up next year, we get to prepare next year, but the following year, we're going to be under review. So they're going to come in and they're going to check to make sure that we have an occupational advisory committee, that people that are in the community, in the field, that work in all of the different pathways that are supporting our program, letting our teachers know what's happening in the industry, what needs to change, what they need to update in curriculum, and they're working directly with us. We actually had a banquet for them last night to just thank them for their support, so we're really excited about that. Perkins, obviously, we know we get grants from the federal government. Money has to be spent by the deadline, and it has to be spent on what they said we can purchase. Student organization. Every single pathway has a student organization. It's a requirement. We actually get tick marks off, points off, when we don't have students participating. So we have to make sure that all of our students are signed up, that they're going to the workshops, that they're participating, because we do get points taken off for not participating. And finally, NOCTI. We have certification exams for every single pathway. What does this do? It says to the employer that I've been in a CTE program for 3 years, following a task grid, learning all these specific things that I need to make me employable. And when I take this NOCTI, it says to the employer, this candidate is qualified. They know what they're doing. They get a certification. And so that's very important. We take the NOCTIs in both the fall and in the spring. Next up, our community partners. We have lots of community partners. All of them aren't listed here, but I did want to highlight Delcora and CMP. We actually have communications technology students and marketing students that are doing co-ops right now. They've been doing a co-op every Tuesday for the past couple of months. They'll be wrapping up soon. And it's really exciting because they're producing content. They're in the workplace demonstrating their skills. We also have engineering students that are working with Delcora and CMP. And then obviously we have our automotive students working at Jiffy Lube, GMC, and AutoZone. So it's really exciting that our partners are helping us prepare our students for that workplace. Other highlights, we have an engineering student that is guaranteed a job at MakerBot, making $50,000 as soon as he walks across the stage. Right out of high school, $50K guaranteed. We have 7 more students that are in the Delaware Community College program. They're in the 2-year electromechanical program. Those students too are going to be making that kind of money when they finish with community college. So that's really exciting. That's unheard of 50K right out of high school, engineering student. So he'll be able to help pay to further his career, right? He'll be able to use his money to continue his studies at college. You heard earlier about our culinary students. They won second place in the science fair. They created a water filtration system. So we want to send them to Shark Tank so someone can fund them so we can get their filtration system on the line because it's marketable. They created a actual filtration system that we can use. We need that. We have a marketing student that was accepted into WHYY's filmmaking program. And the biggest thing, I talked about Bhakti earlier, I want to talk about our sports. Our marketing students and our culinary students didn't do too well during the fall. They hit their targets this spring. Really exciting. Yeah. And then on top of that, our cosmetology students in the fall, you know, some of them did okay, but this time every single one of them passed. And they passed at the advanced level, not just passed. They passed at the advanced level. So I'm really excited about that. They're actually going to be applying to the state next week for their certifications for cosmetology. This is an example of one of our teachers, our engineering teacher. He was recognized by Itolia Labs, which is part of Google Education. He's recognized for his creativity in the lab, in engineering. So we have teachers that are on the national stage presenting and representing the district. You've already seen this video, so I'm not going to play it long. This is just an example of our students working in the community. We heard Mrs. Brown, Principal Brown, talk about our students out in the community, giving that day of beauty for our ladies at the senior center. So we're doing great things in CTE. I'm really excited about the program, excited to be here the whole 8 months. But we have additional things that are planned, and so that's CTE.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our presenters tonight. It was a lot of great information. Good things are happening in Chestnut School District. And I guess that's a segue. Wanted to report to the community that we did have a status update hearing this week at Judge Dozier's courtroom where we had the Department of Education attend and some community members, board members, myself and the administrative team here in Chestnut School District, where the administrators and myself did offer testimony to Judge Dozier. If I had to say, I think it was some positive feedback. We were able to have we didn't have Judge Dozier do anything because he's a judge, but he recognized the fact that even the funding levels here in the Chestnut School District are where they should be, and you know, made it clear for the record that PDE and some other legislators needed to do something to ensure that, you know, we get the adequate funding needed to survive here in Chester Upland. Outside of that, the report that we got back was that he was pleased with the presentation. There was an emphasis on us doing more around the arts here in Chester Upland School District as we are moving in that direction. We're happy and pleased to have a lot of our, you know, ESSER dollars committed, and we actually had the equipment come in, it's tagged, it's starting to be rolled out for the arts. So that was another highlight that Judge Dozier talked about. Moving right along into that, the copy of the receiver's report is available on the district's website for anyone's review. The latest report for quarter 3 of this year. So outside of that, I'll move on to the approval of the minutes from the meeting held on March 23rd, 2023. The minutes for the meeting held on March 23rd, 2023 are hereby approved. And at this time, the sign-in sheet, please, for public comment. Again, public comment will be for 3 minutes. Each individual state your name and address for the record. We will ask that you give and offer all of your public comment and your extra question, and we will respond within the 3 business days posted to the website. Ms. Denise Mosley, folio number 491101703000.
Good evening, Denise Mosley. I actually have 2 questions and a comment on agenda item. First item is B1. I have a question in regards to the stipend for an assistant athletic director. My question, is this a position that was newly created? And my statement is, if it is a position that was newly created, I thought that we were looking to kind of cut costs by streamlining, and we already have a full-time athletic director that is a full-time position that was elevated higher than any athletic director that I've ever seen in this district. And I'm really questioning why we are adding an assistant athletic director when the athletic director is already earning a 6-figure salary. That is my first concern. My second concern, because I only have 3 minutes, is under item C14, a payment to Schrader. And my questions are, I did not see this item listed on a RFP on the website. And so my question is, was due diligence done to follow the process? And you're listing in your agenda a A1A contract agreement and nothing is attached. So I have no way to view that, to see what that award is for, and I do not see any RFP listed on your website. So I need to know, did we follow protocol with that provider? Those are my 2 questions on the agenda items.
So for,
Assistant athletic director has been a position that's been,
It's not a position, it's just a
It's
stipend.
like
It's a
nothing.
professional contract, so it's something that the school determined. So, but it's just a stipend for an individual who works in the district. So same as all the other coaches, they're specified on the coach assignment that's listed in the professional contract and this is that.
Right, but if you have a full-time athletic director, do you need an assistant athletic director?
That's not, it's a professional contract position, so.
You're not
it's
answering
contractually
my-
obligated.
You're not answering my question. If we have somebody that's being paid a full-time salary to be the athletic director, do we need an assistant athletic director?
and you do, Ms. Mosley, the assistant athletic director primarily works for the middle school. They support the middle school sports, where the athletic director traditionally supports the high school sports.
You're speaking to somebody that went to school here and know the people that serve as the athletic director, as a part-time position, and they get it for the entire
Stipend
year.
position, yes.
So, okay, so I'm really asking us, is that needed? And can those responsibilities be covered under your athletic director, which is a full-time position? That's what we really need to be considering.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Schrader is,
yeah, or early, right?
yes, sir.
You can respond within your 3 days, if you're not able to speak to it tonight.
I'd say we'll respond to you in 3 days
Okay.
would be fair.
So let me just ask you, point of clarity for agenda item questions versus general public comment. You can respond in the 3 days for agenda item questions?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, Ms. Karen Meyer. Agenda item.
Agenda item. Good evening, Karen Meyer, 904 Beauty Street, Chesapeake, PA. Agenda item, what is it, C6. Why are we sharing costs with crossing guards? I didn't think that we should have to share. We're sharing that with Upland Borough crossing guards. Is that something new?
No, it's a statutory requirement that the municipality employs and pays the crossing guard, and school districts reimburse up to 50% of the cost for crossing guard.
Okay. And then, I noticed that there are a lot of, and maybe this is the first time I've ever seen, so many people that were voting for the Delaware County Intermediate Unit Board of Directors. Is that something that, all these different names, is there someone from Chester who represents the Delaware County Intermediate Unit?
Yeah, Mr. Jerome.
Mr. Seaver, sorry to interrupt, but for the public, if you could ask, use your whole 3 minutes up to ask every question and statement. That way it's easier for me to keep time, and make
Okay.
sure everybody has their fair allotment. And then,
All right, so I'm asking about C7, C8, what is that, C9 and 10, 11 and 12. So there, I just was questioning why we are voting on these people who, for the Delaware County Intermediate Unit. And then my last question was the same one Ms. Mosey was asking about, C14. And what building evaluation and building addition are we referring to? And do we have money for this? What is the process? We didn't know anything about it.
So okay, thank you, Ms. Meyer. The intermediate unit, I'm looking at you, Mr. Silver, if you want to answer that, but that, we do have a representation. Mr. Green is the appointee from Chester Upland. Each district, my understanding, has to approve when you submit who you're going to have represent your school district to the intermediate unit, and one is Delaware County Community College. There was a vacancy, and again, as a sponsoring school district, we have to approve when they appoint someone there. Every school district has to pass a resolution.
Okay. And then C14, you'll respond within 3 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. That ends public comment on action items only, and we will go through the agenda for approval. At this time, I hereby approve the education agenda items A1 through A11. A1 through 11 are hereby approved. Under the personnel agenda, I hereby approve agenda items B1 through B2. Action items B1 through B2 under the personnel agenda are hereby approved. Under the business agenda, action items C1 through C14 are hereby approved. Under the ESSER agenda, action items B1 through B5 are hereby approved. And under the policy agenda, action items E1 through E31 are hereby approved. On the supplemental agenda, action item A1 is hereby approved. At this time, public comment for, this is another sign sheet, for general public comment, same rules apply, 3 minutes, 60 seconds for the record. And we will respond within the 3-day period. So we have first Mr. Lawrence Hammond.
Lawrence Ham, 37 West 8th Street, Chester, Pennsylvania. I don't have any questions. I just came tonight to applaud the administration, really. Superintendent and the receiver, I think you put a lot of measures in place on forward. And I just want to give you kudos because as long as I've been coming and as long as I haven't been coming, you met every meeting. You know, it's not like you canceled a meeting. You're taking the heat. You're offering your number. And I think that's the most important thing anybody can give of themselves is their telephone these days. And the only thing is we have a 2-year contract. And always look at the big picture. And I don't know where we're going to go as we get into the contract for next year or whenever you're going to entertain it. There's been some rumblings, people talking in terms of the morale, you know. Just 2 years. I don't know what the next one will be. But whatever you can do to solidify the staff and make them happy going forward. We don't need, now that the year is over, to lose ourselves. That's all I'm gonna say, I'm gonna share. And I just give kudos to the process right now. I just look forward to, next year.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Mr. Nee Mosley?
Thank you, Denise Mosley. I asked this prior at another meeting, but now that we're recording, I wanted to re-ask it. Do we have an estimate of the number of seniors to graduate in 2023? And those that are not on target to graduate, what is our plan of recovery for those students? I asked this at the last meeting I attended. I was told that all staff will receive some type of evaluation. I would like an update on where we are with that, if every staff person is being evaluated. Also, when I mentioned I'm starting to see a lot of staff-generated fundraising opportunities online using personal accounts and cash apps, I think we may need to review with staff what's acceptable. Also, when will the Math Insight Report findings be shared publicly and be posted? And then also, if we could also look at maybe restructuring the after-school program to supplement efforts to help students increase in reading, math, and science. Thank you. Did I make it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mosley. Math, reading, and science, right?
Yes, please.
Ms. Karen Meyer?
Are the intercoms at Chester High School working? And if not, is there a plan in place for an emergency? Are we putting back emotional and supplemental classes that were originally in place? Are we hiring a new transitional coordinator for the next school year? Because I see that we're trying to hire one for the summer. Are we hiring a secondary ed supervisor for high school? Was the board aware of a posting for a principal at Chester High School, and why is the school district human resources not doing a search if we need a principal, and why was the community not notified? It is important that our counselors and teachers encourage our students to apply for scholarships. I think that we are in the same position that we were in last year. I don't see it being done like it should be. And we still don't have enough janitors and security. That's it for me.
Thank you, Ms. Meyer.
You're welcome.
Ms. Arnold, I almost missed you because of where you signed on the sheet. And your handwriting is immaculate. So it was a part of the letter.
Thank
Really,
you.
okay.
I started studying calligraphy when I was in high school and then was able to take a class as an adult. Could you please pass these around for me, sir? I want to say that I'm a bit offended with these 3 minutes that you require us to follow. It seems as if you do a better job at holding us to 3 minutes and we're able to hold you accountable for what your work is, representing the district and the education of our children. So I want you to know that I'm a bit offended, and I don't get offended often about the 3-minute rule. So I'm going to try to hold to that, but I want you to know going in my concerns about the rule. I think it's controlling in some cases, and it avoids the transparency that we need for the district. Having said that, I want to say too that our budget seems something like an amoeba. If you remember biology, you had that little one-cell organism that had no firm structure around it, and so it could move and change shapes. And I'm feeling that our budget does that too many times. One time we say our budget is balanced, and then again we say we have a deficit. And so when we were at court the other day, I think we said something about there was a $12 million deficit with our budget. And we also said in court that the Chester Upland School District will never, ever be able to have the budgets supported by the community because of our tax structure and revenue needs. And as a result of that, we will always be in a position where the state would have to give us money so that we can operate. And I think I heard it mentioned that as a result, we would probably stay in receivership and they could not identify a school that has been removed from receivership 100%, was my understanding from court. And so I think that in the heart of being transparent, we need to say more to the public about what happened when we were in court in that regard. The ESSA budget, I think we could use some details still on how we are spending the money for the 3 years. I have in front of me the document that was posted, and it did give the 3 years. We knew the 3 years before we asked the question. The question that we needed answers for were more details about what had been spent those 3 years, that we were allotted funds, and what is left. That has not been made available to the public. And if you tell me that it's on the website, it is not so easily found. And I've seen some numbers, some pages, but they're not so easily read. And I do read fairly well, and I do well sometimes with arithmetic. So I don't think I need a CPA to understand my question.
It's please, it's hard.
I'll yield you 2 more minutes, Ms. Arnold.
Thank you. You are receiving. And you're like king around here, so you can do that. Thank you, sir. The CET program, I'm one of the advisors with that. And that program has never, ever, since I've been involved, had a very comprehensive explanation of the budgets for at least the 2 programs that I'm involved with, and that is engineering and one on communication and the STEM building. And I have gone through several directors, and those that have preceded Ms. Thompson have had the same situation in terms of fully understanding what they have available for the budget. And I understand that a trip recently was canceled for some of the students at STEM because of some budget issues. So that's the reason why I keep referring to that budget as an amoeba, because one time it has a shape like one thing, and then we look around later, it changes shape. So I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned that the judge mentioned that we had made no substantial improvement in academics. We are doing an awful lot with buildings, and I said to you before, sir, about other receivers who did great things with buildings, whether we got rid of them or not. But we really need to educate our children. We are in the people business, and if we don't do that, then we have relegated the city of Chester to a state of poverty and what have you. We do not want to do that. So we've got to educate our children. 57% attendance rate was mentioned in court, and that's the problem. We were not able to talk about a specific plan to turn that around. We have no math specialists. We have no science specialists on subjects that we test in for state tests, and we need to have assistance for our teachers in executing their instructions. We need to understand how did we get, and I know it's on page 12 of that document you promised us last month, but the $30 million that we floated a bond for 1350 and 1450, sir, we need to have a better understanding about how that happened. And what is the cost of the debt, when do we start to pay back, and all of that. And here's something else. We had an aviation project that we heard a great deal about, how they said that our students had it, and we haven't heard any more about it since then. So what I'm wondering is, well, how can we follow through on that particular item?
Sorry. Just informing the receiver that the extended 2 minutes has expired. I defer to receiver.
Thank you, Ms. Arnold. We will most certainly answer your questions in the near future. I'll elaborate a little bit more about the work.
Before I take my seat, I want to continue to believe. I want to continue to trust. And right now, my morale is not eroding, but my belief and trust both are eroding. Sir, please don't let it get too low. I want to believe, because I was in court when you came and said you wanted to run our school district.
Thank you, Ms. Arnold.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. And unfortunately, we're in this unique situation. I'm just giving a general comment, unique situation about receivership in district. And I'll go back to when I decided to throw my hat in the ring to become receiver, because I was frustrated about the constant turnover of people who just came and went, came and went. Didn't think that Judge Dozier would even consider me, but he did. And I have to say, I agree with you on some things, but this place, I'm a product of it, has been in disarray for decades. And at times, and I don't take anything personal, I expect that you help hold me to a different standard than you did my predecessors, because I'm a product of this environment. But it's going to take some time. There's some progress being made. It's slow and steady. There are some wins. Chester City, unfortunately, one thing that I did mention in court, Ms. Arnold, is of the parcels that are assessed there, only 48% of them are taxable. We have the lowest assessed value in the county, in the state, really. We do. So we're a normal school district, and I'm not saying that we're abnormal. Also, other school districts, when they receive tax dollars from their residents, it equates to about 60 to 70% of their budget. Or for us, it's only about 10 to 12% of our budget. So we already are behind the 8 ball, unfortunately, when it comes to the finances of our district. We have a lot of nonprofits. We have so many churches here that have active status. We have a university. We have a housing authority that owns a lot of land here. And in the school district, a soccer stadium that the county owns, unfortunately, that's exempt from taxes. And I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but it just makes the dance a little harder. It just makes the dance a little harder. What we need to do and what we plan to do and what we are doing is leveraging additional resources to bring dollars here into this district. Unfortunately, again, just talking, re-engaging partners for Chester Upland School District. There were a lot of trust issues. Ms. Arnold is right. We talked about that in reports and in court and everything else. I won't name anchor institutions, but there were people that would not talk to Chester Upland, but now they're talking. And they're providing things, and it's going to take time. We're still building trust. I'll even say for the record, PDE, I know you watch this all the time, but PDE said out of their own mouths that this is the first time that they've seen, or the trust has been built and gained, and we're moving in the right direction. And they're providing some more resources, but again, it's slow and it's steady. You know, would I like more resources from PDE? Absolutely, financial I'm talking. But I guess they have to trust me. They have to trust the process. They have to trust the administration, and we're getting there. The Mass Insight report is close to conclusion. That will be concluded in May. It will be readily accessible for the community in May. PDE paid for it. They were initially not going to pay for it, but now they decided that they would. They're in the process of coordinating a financial team with another organization that they're going to pay for, so that we can move on to the next process of doing a amended recovery plan that will be detailed, and it will be the roadmap to success. They also said that in court. They named 2 other school districts that the status moved. They didn't move out of receivership, but their status moved closer out of receivership. And they talked about that recovery plan that was a roadmap to success that was followed, you know, day in and day out, having deliverables in them. The recovery plan that was here when I got here, and I said it in the courtroom, it was baloney. It didn't have any teeth. It was, the finance section was literally 20 pages. That should just be what we talk about with teacher contracts, those 20 pages. So it's brain surgery. We're in critical condition. We're bleeding out. We're doing everything, but we're trying to do what we can do to bring this thing back to life. I'm here for the children. I think everyone at this table, even you, I applaud, you know, you, Miss Arnold, Miss Mosley, Mr. Ham, Miss Maya. You're the constants that come here and you get it. You know, you'll be here when I'm not here, I'm sure.
That's true.
You will be here when I'm not here. So I get that. But I'm not going too far, because I'm always going to be around.
And we know where you live.
Yes, absolutely. And somebody said something about the phone, it never stops ringing. You know, it's ringing now. But the point I want to make is, in court, yes, there were things stated about the finances, and when you play with numbers all day, and young Miss Mosley will tell you, you always say, as of this date, because as of that date, we could have had $20 million in the bank because of the circumstances and situations at that time. But as you move on and things happen. We've had so many unforeseen situations pop up. I sat in this room, I said to the public, it's on a record, it's in a report. I was in this room and I got a call from upstairs. They said the federal government is here and they need to talk to someone. It was the IRS because the district did not pay an old IRS bill from 6 years ago.
Wow.
That 6 figures.
Wow.
It wasn't in this budget. It wasn't in a projection or anything, but it was something, it's the IRS. We have to pay it. We had a state obligation, 6 figures from something 4 years ago. A vendor, and I can go on, and I'm not, again, making excuses, but I'm talking about the reality of what Chester Upland faced, and this is sad and it's disheartening, it really is, because so many people have taken advantage of us. They really have. And we're trying what we can to remedy the situation. I'm working with the receiver in the city to talk about how we talk about economic development, because we need economic development to strengthen the tax base. We just do. There's a lot, I can go on, but this new recovery plan will be much more detailed than you've ever seen before. I can assure you that, Ms. Arnold. Well, everyone. I know I'm not just talking to Ms. Arnold, but I can assure you that it will be much more detailed. It will be a roadmap to success. I don't plan on being here long. I think I have 2 years and a month left for the appointment. If they have me that long, I'll stay that long. But after that, I don't think I'll be here that long. I really don't. I can't stroke out. I won't stroke out. And it's not that I'm giving up on it, but I can be using a different capacity is what I've said. If the good Lord says that I need to stick around, I'll stay around because I follow his word and his will. But transparency, yes, we're trying our hardest to do the best we can. Town hall meetings, let's get some more on the books. We can do that. We can answer questions. We have an open door policy. People come in all day, every day. We talk to those individuals. I know some people say, well, they want to do it here on the camera. We record the meetings that we have. Walk-in Wednesday, you have them. Troy, go in there and walk-in Wednesday so the cameras can see what the people are asking and they can kind of know what's what. I don't know what it is. But some people also, I feel like they need to do a little bit more and care a little bit more like you. I really do. Because the things that they call me about sometimes, I'm thinking we have a deficit here. Our children can't read. They don't know math. And you're calling me about this mundane thing. That's insane to me. So we need more people like you all that care to help us do what we need to do. And that's all, because I just went off a little bit.
Well, before we applaud, sir.
No, I don't want an applause.
No. We have something called law, youth court. We know youth court brings a change with our students and the good works. It is incomprehensible that we have not established youth court in this district yet. We have teachers upstairs, we have teachers in other places. We have our own folks who are getting results, and we have not expanded on that low-hanging fruit. We know how to teach children how to read. We have teachers who do great work with mathematics. And why we don't multiply what these people do right here on our own walls without calling in another consultant is beyond me. And what I'm saying, sir, if they gave us $10 million tomorrow, if we don't learn and do more about teaching our children to read, that $10 million will be a waste. So while we say globally resources, we need to look with detail with the talent that we have and use that. And I am terribly upset that we continue to not use the talent that we have to develop our children 100% in all of their intelligences. There's no excuse for that. I don't think our money problem is really our problem. It's this problem and this problem.
Mr. Receiver, can I address the timeline?
Oh, That sheet you have is no, stop. The organizational chart on our website is what you have there, and I've highlighted some things that I think we need to change.
Madam President, I just wanted to address the time limit, because the suggestion was made that we have time limits for control. As a lawyer at the table, under the law, the public has the right and is encouraged to give public comment, but they don't really specify how much time. So the 3 minutes, actually, I've performed this role in another school district. This is the longest period that I've seen for comment. I mean, other school districts I represent, it's 2 minutes. So you can imagine how many people get angry with me there when I have to shut down conversation after 2 minutes. But I think that the reason that you have a time period of 3 minutes, and some people think that's not long enough, is designed to encourage as many people to come and speak as possible. And it's designed to create uniformity. So if you're someone who wants to come to a meeting, but maybe someone speaks for 50 minutes or 60 minutes, and you just have one thing to say, then you may be discouraged from coming to the meeting, because how are you going to speak? So the 3 minutes is designed to give people an ample opportunity to say what's on their mind, give information back to the district, but also to encourage other people to come and be able to give their comments. And you don't want to have a situation where someone speaks for 10 minutes and then another person says, well, I only got to speak for 10. We want to create fairness. So that having the 3 minutes is a period of time that does both. Hopefully gives the public an opportunity to voice your opinion and your thoughts, but also to encourage other people to want to come and give their opinions and thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart.
Would you defer, can I speak to that?
1 minute, Mr.
That's it. Hear all of that, makes sense. That's in preparation if we get 50 to 100 people here. We don't have 50 to 100 people here. So the concerned individuals who come here should be given the decency and the respect. Go to 5 minutes. And I've never made an issue of the 3 minutes. Because I've been at meetings where I feel it's the responsibility that you should be here and hear from the community as long as necessary. But that's another story. I've been there before. So you got to look at the situation for what it is. And I play by the rules and I play by the game. But I'm just saying, you got to look at your community that you're serving. And that's just us. You see us in this room. We deserve the time. We deserve more than 3 minutes. But I'm not making an issue. I'm speaking into it because I'm responding to your statement. That doesn't happen here. You're not getting 100 people here. So 3 minutes can be changed to 5 minutes. It's at your discretion. We're talking discretion here. We're talking transparency. And I'm just saying I never came to you after 3 minutes and all that. But I'm just coming because this community have just a few speaking for the many. You got to listen to us. That's the few. You got to give us our time. And I'm just asking that. To consider that. And we'll sit, and if you say no, okay. So this community that comes out, we deserve more than 3 minutes to speak. More than 3 minutes of your time to express what we feel. That's from my heart of heart. But I'll sit down and I'll accept it, and I'll do it within decency and order in 3 minutes. But know the community you serve.
Thank you, Ms. Hammond, I appreciate it. And I'm not going to take the tack, I'm going to say this, and all of y'all know me, I'm just going to say it. Anything emerging, I don't want you to wait once a month to come to stand in front of me to say what's going on. I don't want that. Like you said, or somebody said, you have my phone number, you know where I am. Most of you meet with me, you come in my office, you meet with the superintendent. Don't use this as a platform to grandstand. What I'm saying, if it's a I was about to go somewhere else. But if it's emergent, come, talk, you know you can get any of us. And we can get it done. Because some things can't linger to next month. You know, low hanging fruit, we can get some things done in between. Not pointing nobody out. I met with 2 people in this room just this week, and we accomplished a lot in the 45 minutes that I had for you, because there's a lot of back and forth. I can't give you 45 minutes here. But when we met one-on-one, we got a lot of confidence, me and those 2 individuals. A whole lot. Just saying that. Peace and blessings. Thank you.
Sorry for the delay.